thing from what happened.
That's a brilliant idea. I'm glad we're already optioning this for the movie.
I know.
We could go. I was thinking the Fifth Element route, another Bruce Willis movie, and going a little Ruby Rod style.
Oh my God, yes.
Man, that's the show I ever did.
Oh, Ruby Rod was the worst.
Was the best. You know how long it took them to get him to do that character?
That was my favorite character.
Super green.
I mean, they had to get him to wear that outfit piece by piece to get him comfortable in being in it, because he was like, no, there's no way I'm ever going to play this character. So they're like, just try on the rings. The rings are fine. Next day, it's like, try this microphone. I know it looks a little silly, but it really sells the sci-fi element.
I mean, that's one of the best parts of the movie. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So crawling through, trying to find a way out, I guess.
So the ventilation system is large enough that you aren't like elbow over elbow. You're kind of like crouch walking, because it's actually like a big square ventilation system. And it's resting on the floor of the fourth floor. So that's how it's able to support your weight for similitude. Sure. And you keep walking forward, and as you do, occasionally a vent opens up to your left, and occasionally a vent opens up to your right. Now, left is back in towards the center of the mall and towards, the main walkway, the parties, etc., the bad guys. You're not sure what right would open up into, though, and you can't really see out of the vent. Like, you see, like, concrete corridor here and, like, a pipe there and, like, a dimly lit office over here, and everything's, like, poorly lit, like, service lighting, because no one's here on Christmas Day.
Well, I did the flight, and then I did the fight, so it's time for flight again. I'm going to take the right turn into mystery, away from the party.
All right, so just, like, kick it out or whatever, or, like, you're going to be trying to be quiet?
If I can, I would look around, and I probably can't see much, but after that, I'd definitely try to be as quiet as I can, if possible. Get out, but I definitely want to do this eventually.
All that does is slow you down a little bit, but you eventually, like, unscrew it from the inside and then swing it open, and the vent opens up into what must be a service corridor. It's all concrete, not painted. There are pipings and electricity, and the ventilation shaft you were crawling in is just exposed and running through this corridor. So it opened up here into the service corridor, most likely just to ensure the service corridor has breathable air. Right. So you're in it's all lit by red lights. Like, this is like Die Hard 2, and you're going to run into that plucky sidekick for Die Hard 2, which was the crazy janitor. And wasn't it just so charming how he had a mental illness? That's how that movie played it off. Yeah, you can hear, like, the dripping of water.
Does it go both ways?
Yeah, it goes both ways.
Both directions?
So behind you is back towards the party. In front of you, to at least some distance, is the actual exterior of the mall somewhere. You are here in this service corridor, and to your right and left is north and south along the wall of the mall.
Well, if I could try to make it towards the exterior and get outside is good.
Of course. For now, you can only go left or right, because forward would be out. Like, if you could just open up the wall in front of you.
I'm sorry.
Escape.
Let's go left this time. I guess I'd keep my eyes open for a service phone, maybe, or because I'm probably not even thinking about my cell phone. I'm not going to call it this.
I mean, maybe in the service corridor you don't have any bars. Like, it's so you go north. You keep heading north.
I didn't even know if I would know my sense of direction at this point. The only thing I would have in common is getting away from the party.
Purely for your edification as the player. You're heading north along a service corridor. In fact, let's draw some things so we all know where everybody is right now. Arthur is this purple circle here that just made it to an escalator. You are in a service corridor over here that is an X. This is on level 4. And I'm going to make a square way over one for where the security booth is and where Tom Sykes is.
Oh, there they are. Okay.
So
Level 4. Okay. Which one was I?
you're the X crawling through a wall heading north.
Okay. Yep.
Doop, doop.
There's my footprints. Good.
Right. And Arthur just made it to an escalator, but we will catch up with him as soon as you make it through this little service area. You keep heading north, and you're heading north for a while. When you come upon a cast iron walkway that goes up to a door, and it goes up to this door, and it's like a metal door.
All right, let's try that out.
It's locked, but this is like the kind of metal door that you would find in a school. It's hollow on the inside, which means that you could maybe bust it open if you wanted to try.
So looking around for like a fire axe or anything. I know I'm thinking like, I could do like the movies, use this gun to blow the lock off, but it might be loud.
That might be loud.
Gunshots aren't loud in the movies, but let's look for something melee first.
I'll say that there is a monkey wrench that has just been left by some worker who was working on a pipe. So you definitely have a Bioshock-esque monkey wrench that you could bash on this door handle with.
Is there a window in this door, or is it solid?
Nope, it's just a steel door. It's cold to the touch.
All right, I'd like to listen first, just in case there's anything I could hear on the other side.
Sure, you can hear wind.
Oh, outside. It must be outside.
Now that also would explain how cold it is to the touch, because this is Christmas in Minnesota, so it is cold outside.
Okay, I will. Let's take a crack at that knob. Just try to see if I can knock it right off there.
Sure. Why don't you give me a roll of a d10 since your dice pool was reduced by your heroic injury?
All right. Yeah, that's right. Nursing that on. Right?
Yeah, it's half swelled shut, which is sort of like you got this Clint Eastwood squint, but only in one eye. Anyway, you crush it. You knock the handle right off the door, and the door swings lazily outward. And in front of you, you see the roof. And you see how this could have gone wrong, because there are armed gunmen patrolling around the roof.
Oh. Did the door swing out away from me or in towards me?
Out away. But no one has noticed that this happened. You are actually quite far away from all of them. You see like two, and they're at the lip of the building, and every once in a while they peek up and look around. Except for the two hotels to the north and south that are attached to the Mall of America, which is the JW Marriott and the Radisson Blu.
Yep.
This roof is the tallest building that you can see. Like the rolling suburbia of Bloomington, Minnesota stretches out in the distance. And these guys up on this roof, like they're specifically crouching behind the lip of the building in case like police snipers showed up or whatever. But police snipers wouldn't be able to get above them except for with like a helicopter. So you see that every once in a while they're like, and their attention is outward, right? They're not looking inward for some guy breaking out of a door and scampering around the roof. But there are two different dudes, and every once in a while they make eye contact, so it would be really hard to like take one out and not be spotted by the other.
I'm looking at my wrench, looking at my phone as I'm recording myself, looking down at the gun, and just like, just grab the little hole where the doorknob was and maybe just kind of pull it back shut.
Like you pull it back shut, and you're like, and you let go, and it like swings open a little bit again anyway. And you're like, I'm just gonna walk away, and like so it
through the crack of the door. So I might stay there for a minute to think about what I need to do. And then I'm like, well, I got my phone. Maybe I could use that to call now that I can have bars, maybe because I'm close to the outside.
Yeah, with the door open, you have bars.
Okay. I'd like to. Would I have been fortunate enough to have like a ride here, like a limousine service or some type of like a driver, or is this something I would have come on a trip alone? I know I'm low end business, but
I will say that it is perfectly reasonable that you have, as a rich, even if you're the smallest fish in a big pond, you are a relatively wealthy business individual. You probably have some sort of private security firm that maybe it's like they don't come with you to places, but you would call them before the police because they aren't interested in helping everybody else. They're interested, like, we have a contract to get you out of trouble. So you have a line to a private security firm.
actually, that's just one touch. Yeah.
Okay, so you call the private security firm.
Yeah, right now. As soon as I have bars, like if I can fit the phone through the door crack and I make sure I have bars, but keep them back. And
Yeah, so a over the top steely voice comes across, and they're like, "This is Blackwater Kruger Section 3," or like whatever ridiculous.
Why would anyone ever hire them? Their name is so clearly evil. Jesus.
so I'm like,
We recognize your phone number as being
He had to
contacted
hire them because Victor Steele was unavailable.
by Dirk Blake Charleston. Is this Dirk Blake Charleston?
yes.
All right.
Yes, it is. The person.
All right, sir. I need you to calm down. Don't worry. You're in good hands. What situation do you find yourself in?
If this is a dead hooker, press 1.
No dead hookers this time.
Oh,
No dead hookers this week. That should have been your answer.
we have gone 3 days without burying a client's dead hooker.
No one's dead yet, not as far as I know. However, I'm stuck on the roof. Stuck on the roof of the Mall of America, like the roof. And there's gunmen, hostages. I'm trapped, man. I need out of here.
All right, sir. I recognize your problem as a hostage situation.
Yeah, hostage. That's it. That's the words I was looking for.
I take it you are not presently being observed by the gunman in this situation. You've gotten away. Like, help! I'm being kept hostage. Like, I'm right here.
The gunman tells me to tell you that yes, all is clear. No. Yeah. I'm not in danger right now. There's men all over this place, but I'm good
All right,
for the
sir.
moment.
Let me just do some of our advanced security. Yes, we're showing that 911 has been contacted and is en route to the situation. However, you don't pay us to let 911 resolve this situation. We'll get you out of there, sir. You say you made it to the roof, correct?
Yeah, I'm on the roof. I'm looking at the Marriott across from me, and there's 2 gunmen on the roof. At least I can tell.
All right, sir. I see that there is a helicopter in your area that I can contract out for this situation. We will have several of our men on board of a helicopter en route to your location presently.
In the next 12 hours.
Make sure you bring the missiles too. Missiles if you have them. I think whatever standard.
Sir, we're just gonna get you out of there. Now, I need you to stay near the roof, but don't get caught until we get there. We will evac you from the roof, sir, when we arrive. Now, this is also important. I need you to set your phone to silent because I'm going to contact you again when the helicopter is in the area and ready to pick you up.
Yeah, it's been on silent the whole time.
Now, sir, as you've already made it out alive, I expect that you know the basics of not being spotted by the enemy. I'm going to suggest that you get low, find a room, and lock the doors and turn the lights off and get under the table.
So in the movie, when he says get low, in the background, some instantrampairhorn.com goes off and is like,
I need you to turn down.
All right.
Get
Sounds like
For what? Anyway,
I'll just stay low and keep my phone on silent and watch my favorite Christmas movie ever while I wait for you.
don't do anything from that movie, sir. That's the last thing.
What? It's my favorite Christmas movie ever. Reindeer Games. It's perfect.
Reindeer games.
For a douche like this. Yeah, not Die Hard.
So Victor Steele and Tom Sykes, you've seen them just make it to the escalator. They're heading down the escalator, and you sort of like clip over to that where that escalator lets out on the 3rd floor, and that area is clear presently of bad guys. But now that you're back in the security booth, you're looking around and you see there are a lot of dudes. Like the first time you counted 20, you're up to 30 now. Like that's at least 30 dudes that I can see on cameras. Like this is a lot of guys. And that's the guys you can see on camera. Like you've been told through Victor Steele that there are other people in the party room. So that's at least 5 or 6 more. So your count is going up.
Hell, would there be this many?
Yeah, it's a lot of people. Like this isn't the 10 or 12, the 10 guys who took Nakatomi Plaza. This is, this is a squad. This is a platoon. Victor Steele and Amanda, you are at the bottom of this escalator now, and you have been instructed that you need to get to the north part of this building, which is a food court on this floor. Culinarion North, if you direct your attention to the map. Somewhere in that area is an elevator that would bring you straight down to the security booth. And since Tom Sykes is in the security booth, when he sees you get there, he can, authorize the doors opening without you having a security card. He can get the doors open for you.
Oh, this is a security express elevator.
Yeah. So you'd have to pass from here where the elevator let out, this area, past the Sears and up to the Culinarion North. And that's a lot of open space. I'm going to presume that you guys maybe exchanged cell phone numbers instead of using the hard line, so that you can contact.
I got him on hold.
Yeah, so so you can contact him whenever you need to. Tom, you can see on the security cameras what's happening there. So what's the plan, Victor Steele, concierge doctor for the rich and wealthy and famous?
Tom, this is Victor Steele, doctor.
Yeah, concierge guy. What's up?
Yeah, I'm a doctor. I went to school for medicine. I earned the
That's
title.
great.
Thanks so much, Tom. I really appreciate your sincerity here. Listen, is there any way you can start messing with lighting somewhere to distract these people? Just set off alarms maybe in the Macy's?
You could things that you would have access to. You could certainly pull the fire alarms and turn on the fire alarms for the whole building. That would engage a few.
If you're thinking about turning on the fire alarms, don't do that. That would be insane. I'm thinking just maybe that would
be bad.
Just like a desk alarm at the Sears, maybe. Pull people in that general area away from my path. Actually, do it in the Macy's, the other side of the mall. We won't pull them away from me because that's crazy. Yeah, do that. Can you do that thing?
You don't exactly have a button that says trigger alarm in the Macy's or the Sears, etc. However,
alarm systems have test modes.
Right. So
you should be able to be done from a central control area, such as the security office.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm buying this. I'm buying that there would be a test system for the alarms. I feel like you do the test though, and all the alarms go off. I'm not sure you can turn on. I don't think they have the money for a switchboard that is every store in the building to be like, and this one, okay, that yeah, that works. I hear it down the hall. Okay, now
All right,
this
Tom.
one.
Well, I'm not sure if you're aware or not, Wreckage, but
Well.
Mall of America is one of the greatest malls on the face of the
Tom,
earth.
Tom, I've
So
got this
naturally,
solved.
they would have a computer-controlled alarm system.
Tom,
And sprinkler.
if my excellent memory is correct, there are 2 payphones on the western and southern side of the building on the 3rd floor.
So good. I dig.
Yeah, there are.
You must have at least 1 or more phones, possibly more. Could you call?
We should have phone numbers for those payphones,
Exactly.
right?
So there are not payphones, but we've already described that there are hardline phones all over the building that have like directory and security
Perfect.
and distance. So you could get those phones to start ringing. Absolutely.
Tom, I need you to get those phones
Yeah,
ringing, and as soon
that's
as
good,
the
yeah.
people in my sector begin to look away, I'm going to take Amanda and move like the wind because the cavalry's here.
Yeah, I'll start ringing like business phones nearby the people that are along their path, so they'll be distracted.
All right. So this is a excellent idea. Tom is going to try and distract people, and Victor is going to try and book it. This is 2 rolls. This is Tom rolling to successfully distract, and Victor rolling to successfully stealth.
Do it.
D12s from both of you.
Do it. Come on, Rich. Oh.
7 winner.
Beep, beep, beep.
Winner, winner, winner.
Excellent rolls this evening, gentlemen. So this is the part of the movie where it's not quite a montage, but it is like Tom is in the control booth and he's pressing a button, and then it cuts.
Frantically dialing.
I feel like it should be 24, right? And so we it's me, Tom, Amanda, and Dirk all at the same time, right? And we're seeing what's going on as everybody's going around. And Dirk's like, I'm like, on the roof.
You get a shot of Tom, and it's like Victor and Amanda waiting to go. Shot of Tom in the booth. Tom pushes a button. Shot of the phone rings. Shot of the bad guy looking at the phone. Shot of the bad guy going over to the phone. Shot of Victor and Amanda running past him, and then it repeats.
Like Tom, like, okay, go now.
I mean, we do the same thing we did last time. I combat roll behind the guy, and she does a cartwheel. It's to alleviate stress for both of us. We're trying to get a bit of levity. Also, I've told her,
They can't
as
see
this
you
is
as
going
long
on,
as
I've told her,
real.
I'm like, you're literally going to make millions of dollars off this movie. Your parents will never have to work again. Just stick with me.
Already have millions of dollars.
I mean, they're gonna make even more. You know, that's a good point. Your parents are super rich. Shh. And we're like,
I'm like the richest person in this party. You don't even know. So you guys make it into the food court. You know that it's like past the Chipotle. I actually think the culinary on North is all a bunch of fancy restaurants, but I don't remember specifically what they are. So there's a restaurant, and past it is the long hallway that goes to some doors, and that is access to the engineering of the building.
mean, obviously, we stop at the American Girl Bistro real quick and pick up some Thin Mints. And on the bloopers reel, we're literally just eating Thin Mints for 5 minutes. And probably some music from Guardians of the Galaxy is playing in the background.
It's the shawarma scene?
Yeah, it's the shawarma scene.
No, that's for later. That's for when everything's hit the fan, everything's resolved. They're waiting for the cops to come in, and all the heroes are down at a table, and they're just and there's a dead guy hanging from a ceiling somewhere.
I mean, it's gonna be the Benihana scene where I'm like, "Have you guys ever tried sushi? I've never had the stomach to try to eat raw fish, but you know what? If I can survive tonight."
So,
What is unagi?
you see the long hallway down to those doors. Now, Tom, you can press a button and those doors will unlock, and that'll give them access to the elevator. But just as they're there, you see one of the guys that you had distracted by the phone, the nearest guy is this is just ringing phone, and he gets on the walkie-talkie. He's like, something's going on. You can see him talking, and then he's heading back into the culinary North. like towards the guys, and there's going to be a situation where like he's heading towards them. They're hiding like behind a table right now, and they have.
I want to start trying to creep the guy out, like because I know all of these phones. Every time he goes past a phone, I want it to start ringing.
It rings.
Following him.
It rings, and he does like a double take, and then he realizes that it's happening as he walks past things, and he whips around, looks dead in the security camera that you're watching him on, and stares you in the eyes, and then gets on the walkie-talkie.
Tom, I think I just saw him look at the security camera. Unlock the elevator immediately. I need to get to your position.
Okay, yep. I open the elevator. Well, he's not paying attention to you. Go.
No, yeah, he's on the walkie-talkie, like looking at the security camera and talking angrily into the walkie-talkie. You obviously can't hear what he's saying. The door clicks. Victor and Amanda bolt down the hallway, and like he whips around because he hears movement, doesn't see anything, but heard it, and like is still on the walkie-talkie, and you can tell that he's starting to communicate something. Victor, Steele, and Amanda, you make it to this door. The door is open. You're in
I combat roll inside and tap the button for the first floor as the roll finishes. With the Man of Steel 3-point landing. And
Yeah.
The superhero
maybe
landing.
Amanda's just looking at me and I'm like, Amanda, get inside. The doors are going to close.
Man style.
So Amanda gets inside. You guys ride the elevator down to the first floor. Tom, you know they've made it to the elevator and they're on their way. You know where the elevator lets out. You also know.
Check the cameras. Are we clearing the immediate area?
Tom, have you checked the cameras for the roof?
There are no cameras on the
There are
roof.
no cameras on the roof.
That seems like a really technical oversight. I mean, there could be one or more main players plus additional bad guys on the roof.
Here's what happens. You're checking the cameras to see, are we in the clear for a little while? No, you're not, because there are multiple groups of bad guys heading towards the security booth now from different locations nearby, including that guy on the third floor that they just snuck past, who is like in the hallway that they ran down and like knocking on the door that you unlocked with the butt of his rifle. Yeah, you've got Tango. Speaking of which, Dirk, you're on the roof. You're within. There's a winter wind blowing through, but every once in a while, and the way that it does in winter, there's a calm between gusts of wind. And just as one of those times happens, you hear one of the bad guys' walkie-talkies go off, and it says, you hear like, our boy in the security must have fucked up and there's somebody in there who's watching us on the cameras and trying to screw with us. All nearby squads, move in immediately. And you get that, like he hears that and like the guy on the roof is like, I'm not nearby. You know, the guy's like, I'm not nearby either. And they just sort of stay there and like light up a smoke.
Kick them off the roof, Dirk. Literally run behind them and just be like, blap, blap. I mean, 4 stories, they'll probably live. They'll just be crippled.
Push them over the edge. Just walk up and just go shove.
Yeah, exactly.
In no way could that go badly for you.
I know.
Am I in a position where I'm looking at their backs or like at the side of them?
They're sort of like they're like side to side to each other, and you're like, they're at the lip of the building, like I described. And at this point, because they're talking, because of the walkie-talkie communication that just came over, and one of them literally is lighting up a smoke, and the other's like, hey, pass me one. So they're sort of interacting with each other at the moment.
Shoot. But I've just heard that there's someone else in the building. Someone that's actually
in the security booth. Now you
that
don't
sounds
know
pretty secure.
You don't know the Mall of America, but there are directories like all over the place. So if you did, I mean, the guy on the phone told you not to go away from the roof, but there's security.
Yeah, but they work for me, so they can just adjust their position.
Yeah, the plan revolves around me. I'm the important one here.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And it's getting cold,
plan?
so I want to leave.
So what's the plan, Derek?
I'd like to try to back up and try to make my way towards the security office. If I need to, I'll try to even Siri, where's security in Mall of America or something?
Oh, God damn it.
Not only do you say that, it fucking works. Siri's like, the security office in the Mall of America is located on the first floor on the north side near access to JW Marriott. And it's like, then it's like, would you like to know more about the Mall of America? And it's like, no, Siri, shut the fuck up.
Wow, you can actually Google that, and it'll give you the answer. Security information on the Mall of America. Holy shit.
Can I do my Google Maps to get to the security office from where I'm at? You know, I have to find it right now.
You're like, Siri, get me a map.
I've gotten you technical schematics.
The security office is 100 feet and 50 feet down.
So yeah.
I
Let's.
need to find a new route.
This is what you know enough about, and you can
Okay.
Google. You Google a map of the Mall of America and get the map that I copy and pasted off of Google of the Mall of America, that we are currently using as our playmat. So you know that you are on the 4th floor in the executive party suites. You now know that you are in the you're near roof access there. You are as far as conceivably possible from the security booth. So you're not like, you would have to get back into the building, like the actual building, make it down to the 1st floor, and then make it to the north where the security booth is. So are you going to try and do that? Because you certainly can.
Yeah.
All right. So you will, I presume, sort of kind of head north inside the interior of this wall until you get a door. If you look at the map,
Yeah.
you see where the east parking ramp creates, like, meets here with this hallway.
Yep, right here.
A door opens up right there.
Okay.
So you open up that door and you see to your right access to the east parking ramp, and to your left you see the escalator that Victor Steele and Amanda, although you don't know about that, took down to the 3rd floor.
Oh, then that goes down though, when it's obvious that it goes down right there.
Yeah.
So I can
Yeah,
go to the parking lot and try to go down and go back in, but that seems kind of like, I don't know if I come back. So
I mean, yeah, you could get to the parking lot from here. Do they have people patrolling the parking lot? You don't know.
I don't know that, but I'm going to assume if I saw them on the roof and upstairs that they're going to be everywhere I don't want them to be. So
Speaking
I'll
of
bring
that, they'll probably be in all these hallways that you have to walk through.
I don't know. I think I want to go peek down the escalators, see if I can see how much I can see by looking down
So
there.
when you get to this corner, right, you look towards the party room and see all those guards, and they're, every once in a while they are looking down. So you're like ducking around the corner, like you're doing corner lean from like a horror game, right? Like
Sure.
somehow you can see around a corner, but as long as you're doing corner lean, the bad guys can't see you.
Good. That's what I'm thinking.
So you corner lean around this corner, you see the bad guys. You do see the escalator going down, and from here, because of the way the escalators work in the Mall of America, they always have them be in wide open spaces. You can actually see past the escalators into most of the 3rd floor in the north section, and even see into Nickelodeon Universe. And you do see a couple of armed guards like coalescing and moving towards where you think you're heading.
I will pull out the gun and not know how to use it probably, so I'll just hold it because it makes me feel safer. And then I might wait for a good point to where maybe they had gone by that point, or to their backs are really to me, and then try to make a sneaky break for it, at least down to a new spot on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
So
Tom
one of those
Sykes,
scenes where he's awkwardly holding it way too tight and accidentally ejects the mag.
It's too late.
so we will come back to that. Tom Sykes and Victor Steele. Tom, you've noticed that they are heading to your position. And just as the doors open, you see Dr. Victor Steele, a concierge for the rich and famous, and a little girl in an expensive dress.
Okay, I will immediately toss both of them an armor vest. Tell them put those on. Time to go.
Okay, so you toss it an armored vest designed for a full-grown male at a 6-year-old girl.
I intercept it with I literally intercept that with my right hand, and then I slowly put it over her, and I'm like, "That's not gonna work out, man." The vest
all
weighs
right.
more than she does. Can we take the plates out or something?
It's not a bulletproof vest.
What, they do have ballistics plates. That's a thing.
I
All right,
know.
listen. She doesn't need a bulletproof vest. Only a monster is gonna shoot at a 7-year-old girl. Okay.
Well, these guys, from what I've seen, are all hardened criminals. They might just.
Listen, buddy. They're coming here. I think what we need to do is stick the girl in a holding cell so that they don't shoot her. Right? We lock all the doors. We get all that beer right there in that 12-pack. We get all the shotguns, and we just start shooting when they get through the doors. And as this is happening, I get the intercom. As this is happening, I get the intercom system, and I'm like, "Attention, all Mall of America residents. This is Dr. Victor Steele, concierge doctor.
And you get all the shots of like all the rooms, like all the bad guys looking up at like intercoms, and all the scared party guests in the party room looking up at an intercom, and the guy in the black turtleneck neck sweater looks at an intercom, has like a knowing look in his eye.
VictorSteele.info, everybody. Anyway, to all non-terrorist members of this facility, passively resist the terrorists. The police are on the way, and the security office is barricaded with explosives. We can and will, as Americans, persevere through firepower over our oppressors. But if you do not currently have a gun, simply make like Gandhi and resist passively. And if there are any other patriots out there who watch Die Hard tonight, like myself and fellow officer Tom Sykes, then make your way to the security office for freedom, for justice, for John McClane. And then I just drop the intercom. And I cock a shotgun, and I'm just like, yeah, we're going to defend the office, buddy. Also, I hope you actually have explosives. Otherwise, we're going to need a lot of rubber bullets.
You don't have explosives.
So maybe I like
What
look
the
over
hell
at the,
did you just do?
I look over at the ammo closet. Is it like full of rubber bullets all over the place?
There's enough there to resist a riot gone wrong. So there are a lot.
Oh yeah, so we should definitely be able to shoot a lot of these people.
Listen,
Tom,
you're not going to run out of rubber bullets. You may run out of, bullets in the gun. You may get shot in the process.
I know. That's okay. Amanda, listen. We're going to put you in a cell. The bad people won't be able to take you out of the cell, okay? You'll be safe, and your parents will pick you up in a couple hours.
Yeah, okay. I've lost a lot of faith in your capacity.
Wow, you are really intelligent for a 7-year-old girl. You're very impressive.
I watch a lot of old cartoons.
I
really
don't know why that would be relevant, but sure, kid.
It means I'm trendy and hip and interesting.
I don't know that means
savvy.
When I said I was hip earlier because I knew what Powerpuff Girls were, people looked at me like I was weird. But for you, I guess it works out. Anyway, kid, I'm like literally shoving her into the cell and like closing it. I'm like, Tom, I don't know how this cell operates. Is there like a key? Is there a key card? Is there like a Tom, you're looking at me.
I imagine it's like one of those, it's slightly more hardened, but basically a household door where the lock is just on the outside instead of the inside.
I'm just like, oh, okay, all right, cool.
But Tom was just staring at him, just mouth agape the whole.
I offer Tom my hand. I'm like, by the way,
what the hell did you do?
It's fine, Tom. Dr.
Oh
Victor
my
Steele.
God! I start like grabbing things like chairs and everything, and start pulling out riot shields and everything because they're
Tom,
more resistant material. I like stack a few up like triple thick and start duct taping them to chair backs for shields. And
Tom, shake my hand, Tom.
Like Tom's actually going to
shoot you.
Feels like
Tom, we can get to barricading. We know how this works. We're Americans. We've seen Die Hard every Christmas since we were 16.
Yeah, we've seen Die Hard. This doesn't mean this is Die Hard, you nut job.
And in Die Hard, he didn't tell them all where he was and challenge them to come
shake my hand, Tom.
It's like I'm still busy just stacking shields up.
Tom, I'll be able to help you as soon as you shake my hand and give me your name.
Like, fine, you fucking crazy. I shake his hand real quick and just
I pull him in for a hug, and I'm like, listen, We're going to get through this, buddy. It's okay. We've been training our entire lives. You went to Afghanistan, right?
I swear to God, I will kill you.
Afghanistan, right? So this is actually.
I start putting heavy objects in front of the door and
Now
laying out extra shotguns for when we run out of ammo.
Now this is
chairs with a riot shield, bulletproof vest, riot shield, all taped together.
Yep. So this is sort of comedic and lighthearted right now, but we're gonna look back at this, and this story is gonna look like the sad story of a man who years of post-traumatic stress disorder from his time in the military finally snapped, and is gonna go out in a Rambo-like way.
Dozens of terrorists. And was there for the burial of his good friend Tom Sykes. And he was inducted with 21 gun salute and was given a Congressional Medal of Bravery. I saluted over his coffin.
Okay, so let's talk about some things that happen. You have precious few minutes to construct these bulletproof barriers. You're able to get some of them up.
Well, it shouldn't be that hard. You have a shield. You can drape a bulletproof vest over that.
Yeah,
Just
no,
hang it
so
up there, put another one in front of it, duct tape.
these guys are coming now, and it doesn't take long to walk through the Mall of America. You have 5. You can see from. So first of all, here's some things you see on the security cameras. As these groups are moving through the building, you are seeing them turn, fire a gun, and the camera go out. Like all the cameras are going out now. Out.
Really? No, that's just not fair.
So
And
I
you can
duct tape the intercom open, and I take my phone and I go to YouTube and I play the Murder Train song from How I Met Your Mother and leave it on full, overgained, way past safe volume so that anyone outside the security office is just listening to Murder Train, and it's like, oh God, ah!
Yeah, it's not having quite that effect.
Well, at the very least, they're not able to talk to each other and be like, hey, we should go in that room. They're gonna have to be like,
It's an intercom system. It doesn't get quite that loud, and they probably just shoot out the intercoms nearby.
It's an
bang,
intercom,
bang, bang.
I mean,
not
I'm
a
doing what I
concert
can here,
hall.
buddy. I'm doing what I can here. Plus,
Yeah,
I'm
I
building
appreciate
the soundtrack.
you trying. They're gonna keep trying too. Speaking of which, the last scene you get of the camera that looks at the way into the security booth is
So I do go and grab that AK or the M16 out of the locked box.
that's out there, and it's too late, man.
Shit. I thought that was inside the security office, but all right.
Yeah,
Well-
that's out there in the hallway, and the last scene you get out there before they shoot out that camera is 2 groups have already stopped and are waiting, and another group shows up, and they're the ones that are do the fucking thing, and then they turn around and shoot out that camera. So clearly they're meeting to all group up, and then they're going to storm the security booth.
Hang on. We got a shit ton of riot gear in here, right?
Riot gear. Yep.
That should include flashbangs and tear gas, right?
Tear gas, not flashbangs.
Tear gas is good enough.
I mean, you're the ones in the enclosed space. I'd be interested to know what your plan is.
If only we
Well,
had
are
a
these
friend.
tear gas launchers?
Yeah, you got the tubes. For the
If only we had a friend outside the security office in the vents so that we could toss one up the vent and then he could catch it and throw it to the front door of the security office and save us.
See, they're going to try and get that door open. As soon as the door opens, we can have one person dropping the people that open the door and another person launching the tear gas canisters outside.
Yeah, Tom, I know how this goes. You want the tear gas or you want the shotgun?
I'll take the tear gas, thanks.
All right, that's good, because I was going to take the shotgun either way. When you said you hadn't served in Afghanistan, I was a little worried you might be a mall cop, and now it's coming to me slowly that you might have actually been a mall cop.
Well, I didn't serve in Afghanistan, but I've played lots of Call of Duty.
And so you know how Tom was acting like I was an idiot before? I'm literally just like, oh, fuck.
Is this what I've been doing to other people? He says to himself.
No, that's not what I say. I'm literally just like, it looks like I'm the only competent person left in this building.
Yeah. So, what is the plan of action here? Now, Dirk,
You've heard my call to arms, Dirk. I've called for all red-blooded Americans who are armed to come to the security office and rock and roll.
yeah, you heard that.
I've heard it.
I don't know if you're gonna trust it because it sounded like a crazy person.
It did sound like a crazy person.
Plus,
Also,
who wants to run towards a gunfight that they know is about to happen?
also about like,
Blasting murder train.
60 seconds later, after he said that, Murder Train like threw a phone and then through an intercom started playing. This guy's a little unhinged.
Maybe we need unhinged.
Maybe America needs unhinged here.
I mean, that's where I wanted to go, so I'm gonna make my way carefully, ducking around all these stores.
So you've got a huge advantage here, which is that basically everybody between you and the security office has coalesced to storm the security office. It
Is
ends
that,
up
is it on the third floor?
no, so they've all moved to the first floor, but like everybody who was on that half of the building, regardless of what floor they were on, has moved to the first floor and over there. And you actually get to overhear some conversation, which is like, we gotta take care of this now before the police arrive. The whole plan's gonna get thrown into chaos if we don't get rid of this monkey in the wrench. And you hear things like that. So you can, where do you know where on the first floor all these guys are meeting up? Let's take a look over at the relevant map here, which is the first floor one.
Yep.
All the bad guys, I'm going to make them in red here, are sort of grouping up in this hallway. They're going to prepare to storm the security booth. Where do you want, like, what do you want to do here? Meanwhile, unbeknownst to you, Tom Sykes and Victor Steele are preparing whatever they can for a welcome wagon inside the security booth.
Could I make my way down to be like opposite, like over by the Lego here?
Oh yeah, you could, but you would be literally like you couldn't fire a bullet that far. You're on the
this is a big place, right? The space.
So Nickelodeon Universe is the size of a full-size theme park.
Okay, that's right. That's right.
So like think of the pathways as like streets. That's how big they are. So like the hallways are an entire city street with like buildings on either side. So
can I get to the other side, like right about there?
Yeah, you can get to just inside the park, like, and you would be within distance to see what's happening in the fight, but not hear anything. I mean, you would hear gunshots, obviously, but not like talking.
That's fine. I think at this point, when I see everything happening there and no one's behind me, I have to Google how to take the safety off a firearm. Make sure that I know
Siri,
exactly what I'm
how do I
doing.
take the safety off of an M16A2?
He's only got a pistol. He said, I'm not going to touch that assault rifle.
Oh, is it an M1911A1 with a chrome finish and a ring hammer? The
Nope.
safety has been removed in order to accommodate the ring hammer.
No, it does not have a ring hammer. It is just a standard issue military sidearm.
Okay.
So you look up how to take the safety off. Safety's off. Siri's also like, apply 0.5 pounds of pressure to the, like, fire downrange and only point a firearm at somebody you intend to kill.
I think the closest thing I've ever come to this kind of violence would be out of control frat parties. That tend to get a little violent and with some games, so really inexperienced and probably shaking.
There was
his
probably
boots.
a paintball thing that happened, like as a frat thing. There was probably a paintball tournament. You've got some experience of pointing down range
Okay,
with
I'll take that.
paintballs.
I love the idea that we just sit here and when we come out the office, like Dirk has killed all of them and is covered in blood, and I'm like, well, this is gonna make for a very disturbing movie.
This is probably turned into a documentary about reverse Stockholm syndrome.
But yeah, I think at this point I'm going to wait to see what happens because if I shoot at one of them, all of them are coming after me. And
Right. Okay. So as far as Victor Steele and Tom Sykes, what are you guys going to do? You've made all these preparations. You have tear gas. You've got these slightly immovable bulletproof fortifications that, they'll take something of a beating. But you don't know if these guys have grenades or, flashbangs of their own. They could have anything. So what's the plan?
what's the plan, Stan? Victor, what's the plan? That's right.
I mean, The plan is to wait for them to breach the door and
Okay.
then shoot the
Yeah.
shotgun through it while Tom Sykes ka-chunks a grenade out there.
Tear gas. Okay,
Or
so you're gonna wait for
a bunch of them, actually. I'm not going to stop.
So you're gonna breach the door.
No, we're
And-
waiting for them.
They're gonna breach the door, and then you guys are gonna respond and basically tear gas and shotgun.
Shotgun
Yep.
to the face.
Okay. So
And from
we first see this from the perspective of Dirk. Those guys from earlier that we haven't seen anything of since in the orange jumpsuits show up, and just a couple of them, like 3 of them, and there's some talking between the guys. Then they head over towards the security door, and they're there for a little while, and then the camera cuts slowly panning down the security hallway as we see those 3 guys, and they are very meticulously lining the rim of the door with det cord. They get 1 loop, which is plenty. Then they string a line out to the hallway. All of the guys like take either side of the hallway, the other end, and one of the guys in the orange jumpsuits triggers inside the security booth. Instant smoke and noise. Your ears are ringing. Boom! Smoke goes down the hallway. The doors, you can hear them clattering inside the security booth. They've been thrown in. You're safe behind your fortifications. There's a wide open hallway now. It's obscured by smoke. Do you guys
Start
think-
launching out.
All right, roll me d12s.
As soon as I know I'm not going to get hit by any debris, I start launching. Oh, no.
Shoot them in the face.
uh-oh.
Reduce your further dice to d10s. You take a heroic injury and you get a hero point. The process of this is thus. You launch a tear gas canister into the hallway. It's obscured by smoke. Victor Steele is firing off shotgun rounds. Meanwhile, Dirk, you can see that the guys are just either side of this hallway, not even in the range of fire, and rubber bullets are whizzing out. The tear gas canister lands like right at their feet. And the guy reaches down, picks it up, and throws it back into the security booth.
Can we pick it up and throw it back out?
Some crazy bastard on the other end of that
With a
announcement.
tear gas grenade.
The security office is washed with smoke at this point. At which point you hear tink 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 of the security gas canister landing back in.
Oh, crap.
You can't fucking see it anywhere. Victor Steele, you hear this. You hear this. You guys can hear that tear gas is starting to fill up the room. You're not experiencing any of the symptoms of tear gas yet. Tom, your heroic injury is you hear that. Oh shit, right? Like the tear gas canister's in here, and you're gonna like go looking for it. Like you go down on the floor, you look for it. You're like feeling around with your hands. You find the rim of the door that was blown in, and slice your hand on the metal, and it's just like a full cut, like all the way to the tendons on the palm. And you're like, oh god damn it, and there's like no way until you get this bandaged up that you could fire the tear gas canister again, because you just like don't even have a right hand right now. So Tom Sykes, Victor Steele, and Dirk, you've seen them throw the tear gas canister back, and like they're all calm. Like there's practically a guy in the back who's like looking at his fingernails.
Okay.
You've seen the rubber bullets whiz. Are you still firing rubber bullets, Victor Steele? Like just boom, 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 boom.
I mean, are there people who are poking their heads out that I can be shooting at?
It's mostly obscured by smoke, but it doesn't look like they're just waiting on the other side for like the opening salvo to stop, and then they're probably going to storm in.
So what happens is I'm going to stop firing while I still have bullets left, and I'm going to say, reloading!
Do you do anything about the tear gas canister that's in the room now?
I look at Tom and I look at the tear gas canister and I'm just like, deal with it.
Yeah, you see Tom bleeding out of his hand.
Stop fucking up, Tom.
Stop rolling twos.
You know what? You know what, Tom? We actually stop right here, and I'm literally, while I'm waiting for them to come through the door, I'm just looking at him and waiting for any motion of my peripheral vision to start shooting again. I'm like, Tom, there comes a time in life of every man and every American when he has to take justice into his own hands and stop fucking up, and that time is now, Tom. You weren't born an American soldier. You weren't born with the capability to do this, but you have to do this now. It's a thing you have to do. It's not because you're a man. It's not because you're a security guard. It's because you're an American. Stop fucking up.
Just at the tail end of this inspiring speech, like they start rushing down the hallway. Okay.
No, it's time.
Because of your one roll, you fire once, get the guy who's coming down in the front square in the leg, and he crumples to the ground. He's like, that is going to be internal bleeding and like a broken femur or something. But I need you to roll again for like the next guy and the next guy and the next guy. But let's start with just the first roll. Give me a D12.
Yeah.
5. You get
So Victor, there comes a time in every man's life.
Kadoosh, 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 kadoosh.
3 guys go down.
Works. Wow.
Now the shotgun's actually out of rounds, and I toss it to Tom, and I pick up a new one, and I say, reloading.
So,
Dirk, you see them start filing in. You can hear the cries of agony as guys start to go down. Like to put this into perspective, the security booth is like darkened to watch security cameras. And the hallway leading up is perfectly white. So they aren't even shooting their guns yet. They're just trying to make it in because they have no targets to shoot at. Like they can fire a little bit and some of them do, but they're not even getting anywhere near you. Tom, Victor Steele's fired off a couple of rounds. This is enough time for you to take another action. You've got a bleeding hand that would prevent you from firing the tear gas canister until you bandage it. You've got a hero point now. So you could do something really amazingly heroic here, as long as you think of it.
Do the hero points have to be spent right away?
No, you can keep them forever until you spend them to automatically succeed at something amazing.
Okay, well, I'm going to bandage my hand and try and find that tear gas canister.
All right. I'll make that you got a D10 roll. The bandage happens, no problem. Try and find the tear gas canister. That is a 2.
hero point.
You do find the tear gas canister, and you throw it back. You throw it back just as one of the assaulting members of these terrorists is blind firing into the security office, and in true action movie fashion that would in no way happen in real life, a bullet catches the can in midair.
Damn it!
The air-rated tear gas that is essentially just like milk powder or sawdust just goes up, and there's an explosion. Victor is thrown back. You're thrown back. All of the assaulting bad guys are thrown back and onto their asses, as it's not a damaging explosion, except for to Tom Sykes, who gets all of his hair burnt off and like his clothing burned because he was like throwing it. So you get like 1st-degree burns all over your body. Except for like, because like they couldn't go like full NC-17, like you still have pants on. Like your
Yeah, but they're like Incredible Hulk pants, so they're all.
they're entirely Incredible Hulk. You're thrown back, they're thrown back, and there's a moment of silence as both sides can do nothing but like pick themselves up off the floor, and there's a ringing in your ears. And this would be the perfect opportunity to like you see this too, Dirk. Like boom, explosion, all the guys fall down, even the guys in the hallway have like fallen on their asses, and they're like, what the fuck was that? Did they actually have explosives? Like you hear a lot of I mean, what you can see, it doesn't look like a single bad guy has been like taken out. Like there's still 16 gunmen over there as far as you're aware. Sid Alpha, Arthur Perkins, Tom Sykes, Victor Steele, Platinum Dragon, Dirk Blake. What is your response to this situation? Now would be the perfect opportunity to like leave if you wanted to, or to start firing again, or do something tricky.
Is Tom actually a Canadian?
What? No.
Okay, 'cause you said that
He's
in
an
chat.
ex-police officer.
I mean, that doesn't mean he can't be Canadian. Michigan racist.
I mean, there is a city in Minnesota near Bloomington called Little Canada.
Dirk, I'm curious. What the hell are you doing? We need some damn backup down here.
Yeah, I was just waiting
not
to
going
get there.
well.
I mean, it's going well for some of us who aren't fucking up.
It's going well for the dice. You got. I mean, you burnt a 5, 7, and 10 so that he could roll a 2 again.
I mean, my rolls tonight are 6, 9, 10, 8, 8, 5, 7, 10. I'm just that
You
good.
haven't gotten below 4 yet.
I'm fuego.
It is a system weighted for success.
I think I'm going to turn
That's why I'm failing.
Speaking of which, Tom, your dice are now D8s. And you've got another hero point. So you have 2 now. You can start using them to pull off some really amazing stuff. Dirk, what is your response to this situation? You can do anything.
Okay. I have turned the phone on. I've been recording this.
Okay.
I'm like looking at him like, Dad, you're an asshole. But if I survive this, I hope this does you proud. And I'll just like
murder a ton of people with video evidence.
I think I want to go charging ahead down at least to the next corridor here.
And just start firing
Hold
off
your gun
randomly?
sideways while firing.
So I feel like in the comedy action movie version of this, you just miss everybody. And like, and you're like way down the hallway, just.
Well, like all the guys stop, look down at themselves, look back up at him.
At themselves. But this isn't the comedy action movie version. You roll a D10 to see if you hit anybody.
Right.
And if you fail, it won't be a comical interaction where they pat themselves for bullet holes. It'll be they shoot you. All right. So you completely fire. You don't even know what you're doing. You're practically holding the gun upside down. You fire, and like the bad guys are picking themselves up. And like one guy's like, oh, here, let me help you off the floor. And then, and like there's a big hole in that guy's head. And he falls over. And the guy who was helping up is like, what the fuck? And then he looks down the hallway and sees you in a business suit running down, firing a gun. And levels his M16 at you and starts shooting.
Screaming.
So most of the guys are on their asses in the hallway now. There's like 3 guys. One of them, like you killed one. There's like 3 left who are out in this main hallway that you're shooting. You can keep rolling to keep shooting, and every success will kill somebody, but it's also a chance to fail and have them fire back and hit you. But you've killed one guy. He went down, dead. You saw his head explode.
Okay. I would keep firing.
All right, keep firing. Next shot.
Oops, I have to do /roll. It was a D10. Yep.
Your D10s right now.
Still success.
All right, another guy goes down, and like they're picking themselves off of the floor from an explosion. They have no coordination. Like the one guy who was almost ready to shoot he's dead. There's 2 guys left who are in this main hallway and not in the hallway. The people in the hallway are starting to be like, what the fuck? You guys in the security booth are starting to hear like random small arms fire. and chaos from outside. Like even though the fight between you and the guys in the hallway is faded into a ringing in your ears after this explosion.
All I hear is Murder Train.
I feel sadly that the explosion has disrupted your little setup with the phone and the intercom.
Oh.
Reindeer games, Ben Affleck.
You're allowed to fire again.
Okay.
There are 2 more guys. Another guy goes down. You're allowed to fire again. All right, you kill all 4 guys. Bam, 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 bam. It's practically execution shots as they are just trying to get up off of the ground. There are 4 fully armed gunmen dead outside the hallway. The guys in the hallway who are trying to storm the security booth, like they start panicking. They're like, there must be a bunch of them. We must be surrounded.
Tom, I put my glasses fell off in the explosion, and I'm just like, hit him with a splash attack. Fire the goddamn grenade launcher, Tom!
No.
I'm literally, you're still looking at me. I'm like, now we need the guns.
Like, fine, I pick it up.
All right, now Tom, this is of course another roll to shoot it. You're now down to a D8. You got some hero points. If you wanted to do something clever, okay. So let me clarify. You could spend this hero point to just successfully hit them all with tear gas, no problem. If you had a creative thing you wanted to do here, it would also automatically succeed because a hero point is an automatic success. So if you want to tie yourself to a fire hose and leap off the top of Nakatomi Plaza, that succeeds.
From the first floor security office. Yeah. He's going to travel hundreds of miles.
Or you could automatically succeed at just shooting, or you could just roll the dice again. And I will point out that another 4 perfectly successful rolls have been burned since the last time you tried to
that's kind of how math works, but also that's not how math works. That's
the gambler's fallacy, though. That doesn't really compute.
GMs in no way exploit the gambler's fallacy to get their players to do what they want. That would be immoral and unacceptable.
So we're free of the tear gas. How many guys are we facing at right now? Probably about a dozen.
Okay, so like completely accurate. You have incapacitated 3 guys, and Dirk has killed 4. You don't know that, but that is 7 guys out of the 16 that were there. So there are 9 fully armed gunmen in this hallway. They're clearly not military experts. They've all sort of filed into a hallway and gotten themselves into a really bad situation as a result.
Well, let's keep them disrupted and off balance, as I imagine we heard gunshots coming from outside.
Yep. Victor Steele's call to arms might have actually worked.
So I'll reestablish my shield line and start ka-chunking.
All right, so you're just going to roll the dice, or you're going to automatically succeed here?
I'm going to automatically succeed on this one.
All right, you spend 1 of your 2 hero points, and the tear gas canister whizzes into the hallway under some guy. He doesn't even know it's there. There's still chaos in that hallway. The hallway starts filling up with tear gas immediately. They're all coughing and wheezing.
Ooh.
As soon as that happens, I latch the tear gas gun off the vest and then pull one of the shotguns out, and we'll switch to that.
There are calls from these 9 dudes that like retreat. They just start saying, we got to get out of here. We totally fucked this up. So they...
I'm just like, I'm when I hear that, I'm literally like, charge! But then I'm waving at Tom like, don't charge. I'm just trying to get him around.
Hang on, I'll be right back. And I go back into the armory, and I grab a pair of gas masks. Because if there's riot gear with gas canisters, there's going to be gas masks. I'm like, I should have thought of these before here.
Yeah, you should have. So anyway, that'll take it. Here's the real problem here. They're all scrambling to their feet and running out into the main hallway where Dirk is. So they're retreating into Dirk. Dirk, you've killed the 4 guys who are out there.
Don't know that.
Yeah, you don't know that. I'm talking to Dirk. You've killed the 4 guys who are outside there. Now there is gas pouring out of the hallway. They're all like just losing their minds as they pour into the main hallway. They're disoriented, but there's 9 of them, and you don't even have that many bullets left in your clip. So, like, what are you gonna do here?
Are there any assault rifles laying around in these dead bodies that were nearby?
So the thing is, they're pouring out to where those bodies were because they were all in that hallway. You were running up to it, so they're all where the assault rifles are now.
Are they gonna? They're gonna be coming my way. Is that what
They're
it
in the
seems?
main hallway with you. You don't know which direction they're going to retreat to. The parking ramp is the other way. Your way is into the mall. There are storefronts all over the place. I mean, you could hide under a bench if you wanted to hide, but I'm just asking what you do want to do.
That sounds good again, because I'm like, I feel like I'm getting right about in that area, and so maybe around the corner in case they come my way, they would see me as they would filing by. So something I could hide under real quick.
All right, so you're going to hide somewhere.
Well, yeah, when I see not like 4, of course, no big deal. I mean, it's only 4 armed men, but 9, that's a different story. So.
Sure, that's a totally different story. Why don't you roll me your D10, Dirk, to hide?
Oops.
Turn one. So this is just like in Die Hard, where him getting hurt is actually super fucking awesome. You look at the guys pouring out. You look to your side and you see Hard Rock Cafe right over there, and you're like, "Fuck yes, that's my hiding place." And you look back briefly to them, and you see that there's a train coming.
Train's going by my hat. That's my
It's
hat.
literally someone left the train on one of the roller coasters on.
It's just barreling down through the hallway now. It's come off its rails. There are trains, and
I'm gonna hero point for that if I get one.
you could totally do a bunch of crazy stuff. You lock eyes. You turn to see Hard Rock Cafe. You look back briefly and you see, oh shit, one of those guys isn't really affected by it. Like, he's totally fine, and he's raising an M16 at you, and you're like, and you like dive towards the Hard Rock Cafe, and there's no time to get to the doors, so the full-sized windows that show into the thing are your only you dive through the full glass windows. You put your arms as his best, shatter slices all over your body as you dive in. M16 bullets are whizzing past you. Come to a slide in a pile of glass on the Hard Rock Cafe floor. You see the kimono that Elvis Presley used to wear on the wall, because that's the only piece of paraphernalia that you can, like, there's so few pieces of paraphernalia in Hard Rock Cafes, they really have to scratch the bottom of the barrel. It's actually one of the pieces of paraphernalia at the Hard Rock Cafe in the mall there.
Do they have boxing gloves there?
No. Also, why would you put gloves on? Like, that just makes your fists anyway.
I know.
He's between a rock and a hard place.
Nice.
Boo.
There we go. Yeah.
You come sliding to a stop inside the Hard Rock Cafe, and you hear this guy like ordering his men to like come after you. But there's like a kitchen. There's, you could get lost in the Nickelodeon universe. Like, you can lose these guys; they can't keep up with you. But you disappear somewhere. And as they're retreating from the security booth, like, they don't care that much about finding you. They're like scrapping this entire situation. And you can hear them as they run past the Hard Rock Cafe on the walkie-talkie, like, yeah, so they had tear gas. We got caught in the hallway. Like, we had to leave 7 of our guys behind. We think some of them are dead. And the response is, you idiots. You're all going to get a 50% pay cut on this job. And you start hearing, it's like, I don't want to hear it. I'm going to have to come down there and deal with this myself. And so you get that threatening foreshadowing as these 9 bumbling idiots pour into the Nickelodeon universe and like set up a barricade and look down the hallway towards the security theater. So if anybody came out, they would shoot them.
I need to get there.
You do need to get there. You're in a kitchen, and the kitchen opens up into something you recognize earlier. It's one of those service corridors, and it does head down towards the security booth. So you could probably get all the way there from there.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
So you head down that hallway. Tom Syke, you come back with the gas mask. You put it on because the whole place is filling with tear gas now, because that canister is just sitting in the hallway going, and so some of that obviously naturally is leaking into the security booth. The bad guys have run away, but you have no door. All of your bulletproof stuff is shot to fuck. It's probably not going to last much longer. Bulletproof vests do have a round limit. Like all the cameras are destroyed. All of the security equipment has been destroyed by the explosion or random bullets. Take stock of the situation, gentlemen. What's the plan from here on out?
Be right back. I'm gonna use the bathroom.
Tom, listen. We clearly have a friendly out there using an M1911A1 pistol.
It's not an M1911A1 pistol. It does not have a circle hammer, whatever that
Ring hammer.
Ring hammer.
Tom. It's very important that we get into that hallway. We retrieve the gear, specifically the assault rifles and the walkie-talkies of the bad guys. We free our companion or companions from their position, as it sounds like they just took some fire. And then we get out. We literally leave this building. We have absolutely no reason to stay here now that we've driven off the first wave. The police should be arriving by now. It would be completely irresponsible as American citizens to remain here. Also, I gotta be honest with you, Tom. You're very bad at this, which is okay, Tom. I put my hand on his shoulder. It's okay. Not everyone was born to be an action hero. Not everyone can be John McClane. You can just be Tom Sykes.
Listen, concierge doc.
Listen.
Stop talking.
If you're gonna call me concierge doc, you should probably call me Second Lieutenant Steele.
This is just the time when, like, you guys hear a in no way threatening knock on the door to the service corridor.
Hello? Hello?
Housekeeping?
So the shotgun's already loaded, but I do the ominous clicking noise as the shell ejects anyway, and I'm like, who's there?
Your name is a call for red-blooded Americans?
I open the door.
It's a red-blooded American, maybe.
What's your name, son?
Baby.
Dirk, yeah.
Dirk, you have an excellent name for an action movie hero. Dirk, are you an American
While
or are
they're
you
talking,
Canadian?
I'm going to be reloading the gas grenade launcher.
Sure.
Dirk, let's get you a set of armor right here. Maybe a gas helmet and... I don't know. You want a shotgun or you want a gas launcher? Why don't you go ahead and give me that pistol, son?
Wow, he just does it. Okay.
Like while they're talking, because I imagine there's bodies out over here near us, but if we poke our heads out, we'll probably get shot. So I put the nozzle of the grenade launcher around the corner and lob a few down the hallway, so it'll fill up and give us a smoke screen.
They retreated to the Universe Nickelodeon area. They're setting up there. I think their boss is coming down or something. I heard him on the radio.
Dirk, good recon. Tom, good thinking. Let's get into the hallway once the gas fills up with our masks on. Make sure the seal's good. Let's get some assault rifles and let's get jacked up. Anybody got some Mountain Dew Code Red?
There is a destroyed vending machine that's just Mountain Dew Code Red. Just poured out into the hallway.
I get a super close-up of it while I drink it, and then I toss the can to Tom and at the end to Dirk. And then we put our gas mask back on because the corridor is filling with gas.
Do you have a third gas mask? I'm just, if we're going through gas, I don't know if, I can't breathe gas.
So you guys loot all of these bodies.
I can hit
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably dozens of gas masks.
So first of all, there are 4 dead and 3 who are unconscious or just incapacitated. So I assume you handcuff the 3 who are incapacitated.
Yeah.
Oh God, I would much rather just kill them, but
Uh,
this is an action movie, not a realistic.
We're the good guys. We can't kill the incapacitated
I
bad
mean,
guys.
some of us are good guys. Some of
I
us
mean,
are
you also
just,
have
I just picked up one.
like hundreds of zip ties. It's not an issue.
Yeah, okay.
So you guys incapacitate them. Victor Steele.
Yeah.
There's some stuff about this equipment.
Yeah,
I assume you loot them of just everything.
of course.
First of all, several of them do have explosives of various flavors. All of them have body armor. All of them have
Nice.
All of them have magazines. 2 things. 1, all of this is standard issue U.S. military hardware. 2,
Ooh.
you know knapsacks for the military. You lugged one in Afghanistan, as you said.
Yeah.
You know exactly what it feels like when it's full, and you know exactly what it feels like when it's empty. You are holding one of the backpacks of one of the guys. You've emptied it of all its stuff, and it's way too heavy still. Like, it's empty, but it's really heavy for some reason.
Ooh.
This knapsack seems way too heavy. But I actually don't care, since my plan right now is just to get the little girl and ourselves out of this building and wait for the cops to show up, like a responsible American.
Yeah, that would be the responsible American thing to do.
But do they have maybe bombs hidden down in there? They're not suicide bombers, are they?
Listen,
Yeah,
Dirk,
Alice.
do you know how to disarm a bomb?
Well, I don't know. I think you cut wires.
Tom, do you know how to disarm a bomb?
No, I wasn't in the bomb squad.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to do very good against bombs. Listen, I know we all watch Die Hard, right? Now I look at Dirk, I'm like, Die Hard, right? Good, excellent. Were you watching it tonight by any chance?
It's my favorite Christmas movie.
That's a good answer. As much as we all want to be John McClane, it would literally be insane for us to stay here. There's a 7-year-old girl in the security office that we need to keep safe.
You have a girl down here?
Yes.
What? You crazy?
No.
Oh.
Pause.
Okay.
No.
Oh, okay. Just
My
checking.
understanding is if we leave the security office and turn north, we can get to the taxi and shuttle drop-off point.
Why, yes, you can.
My phone is running low on batteries. If someone has a cell phone, I need you to go to the Uber app and order a driver here as quickly as possible. Excellent job, Dirk.
Wait. No, wait. I have a helicopter on the way. Can we use that?
That would require us getting to the roof.
I'll just tell them to land in the street. They
Why
what
do
I
you
say.
have a helicopter coming here?
My dad's rich, and I just called him.
People keep telling me that. So weird. Anyway,
It's weird.
It's
You're a
not-
concierge doctor. How is that weird?
that everyone I meet is rich. Well, actually, that's a pretty good point. I mean, I
How's
met
that
you,
good?
Tom, but don't worry. After the movie comes out, you'll be rich. Bumbling sidekick. Excellent stuff. All right,
Tumbling
listen,
sidekick.
Dirk, I want you to call the Uber just in case, and then call your helicopter friends and have them land out there. As soon as anybody gets here, we're going to make a break for it. Tom?
Now I have to step in here because Uber has not had a very aggressive marketing campaign, but you know who would do a movie tie-in is Lyft.
Very well. We
I
call
feel like
Lyft.
you're going out of your way to call Lyft because Lyft has an incredibly aggressive marketing campaign. to
Dirk,
try-
do you have the Lyft app on your phone? I've found that it is superior to Uber in several ways, not the least of which is response time, but also comfort. With
Did
all
you know
of these,
that Lyft releases apps for events in your area that are event specific? For example, if you go to a convention like PAX, they have a PAX Lyft app.
That's a lot of information.
Lyft Mall of
I do have
America.
it, by the way.
All right, perfect. Call the helicopter here. I'm going to go. You know what, Tom? Do you have any kids?
Tom, do you have any kids?
Oh, sorry.
Mall of America. Yeah, Mall of America, I said.
No. No, I do
Tom
not.
doesn't have any kids.
All right, listen, Tom. I need you to go find the little girl Amanda, and I need you to keep her safe by you. You only
I think
need
she's
one.
probably going to be much safer where she is.
The whole point of this is to get her outside of this facility, buddy. I'm like, listen, Tom, you're a security officer. You know that the exit to the facility is like 5 feet outside this door.
It's super close. You can
All
see
we
it on
gotta
the map.
do is get outside and get in a helicopter, and we're safe. That's the whole movie here, bud. Listen,
It's like this far.
we don't have to disarm these explosives. We don't need to figure out the terrorist plot. I don't give a shit as to why this is all American military gear. The little girl is the big deal here. Okay, buddy? The little girl. There's a girl named Amanda. She's 7. She's sitting in the office. She's the most important thing in our lives right now. Tom, are you a sociopath? Do you not care about this little girl?
All right, I turn and start walking back into the office. I'm like, all right, fine. It's just.
I babysat one time with my sister.
So yeah, I'll go get the little girl.
All right, you get the little girl. I assume you give her a gas mask. You've
Yeah,
created a
I
smoke
was gonna
screen
say.
of tear gas at the end of the hall, so they can't see anything. And you guys are gonna head out the front door.
I mean, as soon as Lyft and or Hella Uber arrives.
Yeah, making the calls now.
I mean, so you see something perhaps better than Lyft or Hello Uber. Just a bazillion police lights are like filling up the.
Oh, so a bunch of armed guys wearing gas masks are going to come streaming out of the building. That's going to go well.
I mean-
a little girl.
I immediately call 911 and ask for Maryland
711.
operator number 711.
Yeah, you get her. It's like, is this Victor Steele?
This is Dr. Victor Steele from victorsteele.info.
Are you still alive, Victor Steele? Are you hurt? Are you?
I am alive. I am currently with security officer Tom Sykes and
Yes, we got a call from him earlier.
a gentleman named Dirk Blake Charleston who appears to be very rich. We are
Okay.
in the security office of the first floor on the north side with the 7-year-old girl named Amanda.
Police are on scene. They've surrounded the building.
I'm aware. We are currently wearing gas masks as gas rounds have been fired inside the facility. We would like to come
I
out the
told
north
you not to
side.
do anything you saw in Die Hard.
First off, Maryland, why would you assume that I did that?
You did that.
I definitely.
That was me.
Maryland, yeah. See, Tom did that. The security officer. This is his job.
Well, all right, fine.
Maryland, I'm not
As
gonna have
they're
it-
talking, I turn and fire a couple more down the hallway
Who's firing them right now? Listen, Maryland, I'm not going to have a three-way conversation between
just
you
to
and
make
Tom.
sure the cloud doesn't dissipate.
All we need you to do is to not have the cops shoot us the instant we walk out the front door.
I've sent word to the officers that 3 gassed men and a little girl are coming out of the building. They are not terrorists.
Thank you so much, Maryland.
So you guys head out the front door?
Before I do, I'm like, Maryland, is there a particular actress from Hollywood that you would like to play you during this movie? Listen, I'm pretty sure Dirk's super rich, so even if a studio doesn't pick us up, we can just make a vanity film. You feeling Scarlett Johansson or maybe like Taylor Swift?
I mean, do you really think someone would like? I have a really bit part in this movie. I feel I like at the beginning and the end. I don't think I can get someone that big to do a bit part, unless you want to do like a whole side story where it shows what I did while you were there, which was coordinate the effort. I guess.
I mean, yeah,
a bit
you could
part
be
beginning
like,
and end. The choice is obvious. Britney Spears.
God.
listen, there are a lot of men that will be involved in this film, and we really need several female leads in order to balance that out. And so your part will probably be expanded greatly.
All right. Okay. I'm down with this. So you guys head out the front door.
Yeah.
All right.
We
Now,
get shot in a bullet storm.
this would be an excellent way to end this story within the 4-hour time allotted.
I mean, it
How-
would.
However, I foreshadowed this, and so it needs to happen. You guys are heading out. You see the twinkling of the police lights. You're so close. Tom, there's like a shot, though. You see the guys who are on the other side of that gas cloud, and they set up the barricade, and you just see someone's boots walking up. And it's panning up, and it cuts back to you guys walking. And he keeps panning up on the bad guy. Cuts back to you guys walking. Tom, you look back. You see the dead bodies all strewn along. Wait a minute. one of them wasn't an armed gunman at all. It was one of those guys in orange jumpsuits. Then you remember that the door exploded inward. And then you look out towards the police lights and you see one of the vans that you saw before, and it starts putting together, and it cuts back to the bad guy, and it's the guy in the black sweater and with the bandana. And you hear someone say, "We've got a report from the roof. The police have surrounded the building." He's like, "Excellent." And he takes out a detonator. And you cut back to you guys. And Tom, you're like, "No, I put it all together in the last moment." You reach out. Victor's in front with Amanda. You grab them by the back. You throw them back. The bad guy presses the detonator. And we get the Dark Knight like helicopter pan of the Mall of America. The Mall of America is surrounded by parking ramps that are all 4 stories tall because it had that many cars. He presses the detonator, and there's a woof of dust from the bottom of the 4th story of each of those parking ramps, and they fall goosh onto the 3rd, which is too much weight for the 3rd, and it falls onto the 2nd, and it falls onto the 3rd. So all around the entire Mall of America, completely surrounded by parking ramps, they all detonate and cave in and create a wall around the entire mall of impassable concrete rubble, rebar, and twisted metal wrecks of cars.
Man, it's a good thing that helicopter probably has some rope that they can toss down to us.
There is a helicopter en route, but there's a whoosh of dust and debris as Tom throws you out of the way, heroically saving your life, Victor Steele. And Dirk, you're in the background. You're like, "Oh my God." The dust whooshes its way down the hallway, and all of the hallways. It starts to blow the tear gas back at the bad guys who are coughing and wheezing, but it's emptying out of the hallway. You guys have just you look through the doorways and see the piles of rubble instead of the twinkling reds and blues of the police officers that were outside. You don't know if they're okay or if they were outside of the parking ramps. You don't know what's going on, but you know that your way out has been destroyed.
I speak now, Marilyn.
Are we screwed?
Well, on any other day, that might seem a strange thing, but
Now, I will say, Arthur, this is a place where we could have a heroic cliffhanger ending where we may one day come back to this or may not. That's fine. But it is, I think, the best ending point we're going to get to
That's acceptable. I think
in the
I
next
can
20
live with
minutes. So with our heroes together, little girl in tow, and their escape route dramatically cut off by the villain.
so we do the heroic camera pan around them as they all look up, dust everywhere, and they just look despondent. And Tom says, "We're cut off." Or they cut us off.
Siri, we need a way back.
Tank, I need an exit.
Like turn and slap the phone out of his hand.
Jesus.
All right, let's do outros
We're
then.
literally the worst. For real.
That was a lot of fun. We
was
had a
great.
good time here today. Our newest person was quite good. Platinum Dragon, Lucas.
Thank you.
Outro yourself.
Oh, geez. With what?
I don't know. Do you have a Twitter? Do you have anything that you want
Talk
to pimp?
about yourself, man. Listen,
Okay.
you've seen every episode of Skulls and Shackles, right? You know how we do this.
Yeah, that's true. Broadcasting this stuff is something I'm interested in, so I'm looking forward in the future. But currently, I work a job, a 40-hour job. I have a wife and a house, and I'm going back to school to become a sign language interpreter. So I'm doing a major career change. So I'm in my last year, and I'm pretty busy. But when I have a chance and when I can, I play a lot of Pathfinder, a lot of D&D here with my friends in game or in house. Then of course I participate in Winter's Edge, and watch all your other stuff too. So there's your plug. Winter's Edge. But that's the long and short of it without going into a lot of detail. But yeah, a little shy at first, got a little warmed up later, and something I could be comfortable with, down the road. So. Good time. Is that good?
No, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah, I
outro.
think it's solid.
Why don't we take it over to Sid to see a slightly more mature and refined outro. We'll do sort of an evolution of man thing where we go up to the master.
Mature and refined. You won't get too much of that out of me. Boys and girls, I am Sid Alpha. Of course, I am a YouTuber. You can go to my channel, youtube.com/Sid Alpha, where I do video game news, reviews, first impressions, and things of that nature. I am on Twitter and Facebook, and you can follow me there. I'm definitely a lot more active on Twitter, twitter.com/Sid Alpha, facebook.com/I am Sid Alpha. If you want to keep up to date on my rambling nonsense and posting comments about games even while I'm in them, like I was doing tonight, about how hilarious things have been, because Wreckage is pure awesome, as is Arthur, and Platinum did a fine showing for himself, I have to say. Did a great job.
right there, for real.
An excellent start to a storied career, destined to.
All right,
win Oscars
creepy
and
narrator at the beginning of every D&D anime.
Yeah, and Arthur, why don't you do the next one? Show them how it's done. Really.
Yeah, I'm APGamingREAL. This is my channel. Click the follow button in the lower left-hand corner if you enjoyed this. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, all at APGamingREAL. I broadcast every night at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that's
That's
excellent.
pretty much.
And I'll finish this off as Dr. Wreckage. I frequently appear on APGamingREAL's channel. In fact, the next time that you can catch me is Wednesday at 8, where we will be doing Star Wars Edge of the Empire, or Age of the Rebellion, or whatever we're calling it these days, assuming everybody shows up. If nobody shows up, that's a darn shame, but we'll be back again on Friday with Mistborn. Probably normal Mistborn, but maybe Alloy of Law if someone is missing. Last week we did Alloy of Law. No one was missing. It was great. You should watch it. There was an assassination attempt that we foiled. It was amazing. Follow me on Twitter at Dr. Wreckage for all the other stuff I do, because on Tuesday I'll be at Henley's channel. And I do other stuff on like Thursdays and stuff. So yeah, I'll tweet all the stuff I'm doing. I retweeted this today so that people would know that it was happening. Sid Alpha did an amazing tweet that I retweeted. So you will always find out what I'm doing when I'm doing it if you follow me at Dr. Wreckage. So if you like what I did, follow me there. And we're out.
Okay, we're out.
Woo-hoo.